back to my channel. My name is Hind Kiskes. I'm a performance consultant and I post videos about personal and business development. So if you're interested in topics like psychology, performance, life and project management, consider subscribing to stay informed whenever I post a new video. In my last video, I mentioned the 4 steps of constant growth as part of the continuous learning and improvement process. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I first invite you to watch my intro video on my YouTube channel to get a bit more context. And for everyone else, let's get started. As I previously mentioned, these steps apply for an individual and for a company. So I'll be giving examples to cover both as we move along this video. So the 4 steps of constant growth are the following. Step number 1 is to have a clear vision and purpose. Having a clear vision is knowing what you want for the future. And having a clear purpose is about knowing why you want that vision and why it's important to achieve it. As individuals, we all deal with the same areas of life. First, we have our personal life, which includes our health, our spiritual life, our character, emotions, and intellect. Then we have our social relationships, which include the people closest to us, like our partner, our family, but also our friends and other acquaintances. And lastly, we have what we call our business life, which includes our career and our financial life. Each one of us should take some time to think through all the areas of life and then attach a purpose to each desire, which will help us power through the challenges that we'll encounter when trying to achieve that vision. It's also important to take some time to think through the beliefs we have in each of these areas, to evaluate whether what we believe is true and if what we believe serves us, and then to educate ourselves on these topics so we make sure we are not setting unnecessary limits for ourselves. You wouldn't believe how many truths we take for granted that aren't actually true. Please keep an open mind and get curious and do some research and learn about all areas of life that do affect you daily. For a company, vision and purpose are thought about from the very beginning. But what CEOs, C-executives, and managers may forget is that vision and purpose should be thought about when starting new projects and when putting programs in place. Vision and purpose will guide the strategy of the company and will be the basis on which decisions are made. Conducting business analysis is the way to make sure that the vision and purpose you have are solid and that they will ensure the growth of the company. Now, let's move on to step number 2, which is to develop a strategy and a plan. Strategy is about setting long-term goals that will help us achieve our vision. The plan is a bit more specific and it's about the actions necessary to achieve our long and short-term goals. Just like companies do, each one of us need to think about a 3-year strategy and goals to achieve our life vision. If your life vision takes more than 5 years to achieve, you may want to fine-tune it a little until it fits within the 5 years time frame. You can always keep the initial vision as your 10 or 15 years vision, but the idea here is to have a vision that you can achieve soon enough if you put the right actions in place. Once your 5-year vision is in place, you want to start thinking about the 5 SMART goals that, when achieved, will turn your vision into reality. If you're hearing the acronym SMART for the first time, it stands for sustainable, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So if you're new to goal setting, please do some research on the topic to help make sure that you are setting the right goals for what you're trying to achieve. Once you have your strategy in place, it's time now to start planning. Planning is about figuring out the steps you need to take in order to achieve your goals. To make your goals more manageable, you want to think about what you need to achieve this year and then take it a step closer to this quarter, then this month, and then this week. So you basically want to keep in mind your 5-year vision and then set goals for this year and then adapt them to 3 months from now, and then a month from now, and then a week from now. You can even take this a step further and set weekly and daily habits. These daily and weekly habits will make sure that you always have enough energy, momentum, focus, and presence in order to achieve your goals. Weekly habits can include your workout routine, your social events, or your date nights with your partner. And daily habits can include getting 8 hours of sleep every night and journaling, meditation, or even showing gratitude every day. Companies operate a little differently, and the number of employees has a huge impact on how things are managed. But generally speaking, projects are at the center of any strategic plan. Projects are put in place to achieve the 5-year goals. Projects generally require the collaboration of different people with a certain combination of skill sets. And the success of these projects highly depends on the technical skills of the project team, but also on their ability to learn, grow, and develop their people or soft skills. This is why it's extremely important to invest on the human resources of the company in order to help them evolve as an employee, but also as an individual. As I mentioned in my last video, us humans are the center of everything. And if we take the time to work on ourselves, grow and evolve, we will be the first one to benefit from it, but also the people we interact with will benefit from it. Now, let's move on to step number 3, which is to take action and remove roadblocks. When we have a good plan in place, execution becomes mainly about staying disciplined, focused, and willing to achieve the results. The reality is, when executing your plan, you will encounter many challenges and unexpected events. And this is where your purpose needs to be strong enough. Your purpose will help you power through all these challenges and keep on going. This step will also heavily rely on your strength of character and your emotional and intellectual intelligence. This is why it's super important that we keep learning and expanding our minds and becoming a better version of ourselves, and also taking good care of ourselves in order to see things through. And now let's move on to step number 4, which is to measure progress and adjust. Measuring progress is about tracking the right metrics to see how close we are at achieving our goals. Measurements and data will help identify the parameters that are impacting our performance and our progress, and this will guide the decision-making process to get back on track. Measurements can also be a great motivator as we see ourselves progressing and closely reaching our goals. Measurements also let us know at the end of the road if we achieved our goals or not. For individuals, measuring progress can be related to workout performance. For example, you can measure how many steps you walked within the past week or past month. It can also be related to your running performance. For example, how fast can you run that 10 kilometers distance. For companies, I think most companies have some basic measurements going on, but measurements can also include project performance and employees' performance. And here, not everything is worth measuring, but enough measurements will ensure enough motivation and enough progress at reaching goals. And that is it. Those were my 4 steps for constant growth. Please let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section down below. I also want to say that, this was a lot of information, and if you want to implement all this, you need to keep track of it somewhere. I personally use an app called Notion, which helps me keep track of everything. So you can use Notion from simply taking notes to setting up management systems. In my next video, I will share with you a simple template that will help guide you through this entire process and help you stay focused and organized as you reach your goals. So stay tuned for that, and in the meantime, if you are interested in working together, please contact me through my LinkedIn account. That's all for today. My name is Hind Kiskis, and it was a pleasure talking to you.